We're interrupting today's video to give a massive thank you to today's sponsor, Aftermarket Arbitrage. These guys are the plug. If you want Yeezys, if you want anything that is hot tub related, or you want a second income, just like grabbing the 350s as they come out, these are bought and supplied by the guys at Aftermarket Arbitrage. Look at the state of them, brand new. Links are in the description to Aftermarket Arbitrage. They are the plug for hot tubs, a second income for you guys, like hot tubs, like Nintendo Switches, like PS5s, all of the good stuff. And you can either sell on, or you do like what I do, or I buy stuff for myself at the RRP rather than a blown up price tag. These guys are the plug. Again, links are in the description, but let's get back to the video. Right guys, welcome back to the channel. As you can see today, we have a 540 brake horsepower Audi S3 for us to play with today. So thank you so much to the owner for letting me take this car out. If you do have a car like this, or you have a car that you want me to shoot for the channel, hit me up, JamieFYD, on all of the socials. But let's get into a quick spec list, because this car has, you know, a couple of choice modifications that I think every S3 owner would absolutely love on their car. So it has just shy of 540 brake horsepower. I think it made like 538 with the METH. Now off METH it makes 510, but we actually do have a full tank of METH today. It's 0 to 60 has actually already been checked on a draggy. It did a 2.9 second 0 to 60. Has a Turbo Technics turbocharger, R600 intake with enlarged intake pipe by Turbo Technics, Miltech full non-res exhaust system, APR intercooler, APR high pressure fuel pump. Handling mods, it does have a few. It has 4-pot brakes from a TTRS up front with 370mm twin disc, KWK-free coilovers, front and back anti-roll bars by H&R, which will of course we'll see how good they are today. Ultra Leggera wheels, and is tuned by Eurotune from the guys at Awesome GTI. So we'll get this thing started. I've got to admit, in comfy mode, you know, the non-dynamic mode, it does sound not as aggressive, which is good. You know, daily driving and that, you don't want it as aggressive as, you know, a full straight through exhaust system, let's be quite honest. So we'll turn the music down. We'll actually go from, as we're here, we'll go from dynamic, we'll go through individual, comfort, auto, dynamic. So we're in dynamic mode. I will tip it over to manual mode as well, because this is the best way to use one of these in my opinion. We are on not necessarily the slickest of days. It is a little bit dry and patchy in places, so it's not too bad. Car is fully warm. You know, I've driven it for a good half an hour before me actually putting my foot down, which is sort of something I want to do in cars like this. You want to make sure the dynamics of what this car is and how it reacts to your throttle responses and pitches in the handling stuff is right. So second gear. Wow. Oh, overrun. Oh, it's got overrun. Oh, wow. So the surge, initially, let's talk about the power. The surge is at around 3,000 RPM in this one. So we'll just brake a little bit, come down from 5th, 4th, 3rd, 4,000 RPM. The power itself, pretty linear if I'm honest. It doesn't spike up and then come back down. It's, you know, at 3.5 it is really on full chat, this thing. You can feel it come up and then stay up, which is really nice, all the way around to the red line. You know, you put in 500 and say 530, 540 through one of these S3s, there's going to be no slip, there's going to be no sort of drama in the sense, you know, jumping out of my M4 this morning, put your foot down in that, it'll probably spin you into a hedge. This though, third gear, all of the power all the way round, and it actually consistently takes its power all the way through. In my opinion, it's set up pretty well that even through, you know, we go up into 5th gear, then it actually continued to pull at the same rate it was in 3rd gear, which is really, really satisfying. My RS3 was like that. Guys at AT Motorsport really catered that car to a driving style that you could flip through the gears and it consistently had the same amount of power throughout the revs. This is very, very similar. I will say it's got an APR gearbox map on it. Not much of a fan of those. That's the first thing I will say. I'm a TVS fan through and through. Very, very different, in my opinion, maps on the gearbox. So this is very, very good. You know, from a factory standpoint, it is a fantastic gearbox map, but I would say we actually were talking, me and the owner, he's going to go for TVS on the gearbox mapping, just through personal choice more than anything. But this is running the APR one, which is still a very good map, don't get me wrong. Comfort-wise, though, let's talk about comfort. The S3 is, you know, high on comfort levels. So you've got this one with the sports in it. So it's got diamond stitch seats, as you can just see behind me. I'd say opt to go for one of those with those seats and a pan roof. This has got the pan roof, so it's quite a nicely optioned car. And it's got a Bang & Olufsen sound system. Another thing that I would say, if you are willing to buy one of these, not this is a buying or ownership review, but I would say try and get those things, as well as all of the mods, because the mods are incredibly expensive if you want to actually push, you know, over 500 odd horsepower through your S3. Dynamic wise though, let's talk about handling, because these K3 coilovers are what I always wanted to put on my RS3, and I must admit I tipped it for a few corners on the way here, and the handling and the actual characteristic of the body of these cars, it feels so flat, and as you come round a corner there's no sort of waywardness from the rear end, which of course you will get in, say, I'm not, you know, pitching this against my M4, but you will definitely notice a big difference between the cars. This is so much tighter and you can throw it round a lot more, in my opinion. It is very tight in its directional cornering speed. You can pitch it in, and them H&R anti-roll bars do definitely make a big difference as well. It's something that, again, I want to do to my RS3 at some point. Handling is, you know, although they are very high, you know, it's a four-wheel drive, you know, quattro all-wheel drive setup in these S3s. It is a fantastic platform to actually build on. So if you do throw, you know, coilovers on it, you do throw anti-roll bars on it, it does make a huge difference. They are fantastic for the factory, but this one today, I'd probably say it's one of the best handling S3s I've ever driven. It feels really planted. It feels like you can throw it around pretty much to your own disposal as much as you fancy, and the power is pretty biblical as well. So we'll come back down, you know, fourth gear, third gear. And you know what? It does sound pretty good as well. Very different to, again, other 4-pot or, you know, 6-pot engined cars. Does sound flat and nice. I quite like the sound of the burble on the way down, and the surge of boost. You can really hear that turbo going, which is, again, something I'm a fan of. Price point, again, we're not talking about ownership, we're not talking about price points and stuff, but price point, I think you're in a good realm for this car. Say you're paying mid-25 for this, you know, all done up, all singing and dancing with a good bit of mileage. That's a shout. You know, I do believe that the, you know, market is a bit funny at the moment, so you might pay a bit more, but, you know, during filming, these cars, I think, you know, mid-20s, say, for something like this that I'm sat in today, is a really good shout. And if you're after one, try and get one, as I already say in every video, try and get one with, you know, the mods done if you can. If not, make sure you're very, you know, ready for the turbocharger price and tuning price. You want to make sure these cars are set up properly, because there's so much potential through them. And you know what? This hasn't got clutches in it, it's not forged, and it's running 500 horsepower. It is fantastic through the B roads of the UK. Even when you short shift, mate, it is so far. Yeah, hugely impressive car this. Again, guys, if you do like this style of video, let me know in the comments below. I do like doing more of this sort of stuff for the channel. So again, if you do have a car that you would like me to feature, please let me know. JamieFYD, Instagram, Facebook, or leave a comment below, or hit me up on the emails, fydapparel.com, my clothing brand. But thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.